Something I want to jump to is I know that Kyle, Woody, and I have spoken a lot about the Corona thing going on in the country in the last couple months, and I follow my good friend Dick Masterson on Twitter, and he is of a totally different opinion on it. And so I want to drill deep on this, and Anthony, of course, as well. But I want to get everybody's Corona takes. No, you're not the bad guy.
Maybe do it.
Maybe you'll win me over.
Maybe
you'll win us over because you're on the. What'd you say? I saw your tweet where you're like, "Oh no, have the PKA guys been simping for grandma?"
Is that what you guys are doing?
Which is apparently how Dick says.
You guys in love with your grandma that you want to shut down the economy? Is that what it is? You know what? Speaking of alcohol. I before this, I thought I had a problem with alcohol. Now that I can't leave the house, I realize that I had no problem with alcohol at all because now I can't get up without a drink in my hand. The amount of drinking that I have to do to get, I looked at the clock one day without a drink, and I swear to God, the hand started moving backwards. It doesn't, the time will not pass unless I'm drinking now. It's driving me fucking insane. I am not going to make it. Whenever Trump is telling the governors they can open up again, I'm not going to make it there. Or at least I'll be another man.
Can you order alcohol to your house?
I think we can. I don't know, but if there's an option to go out and get it, I'll climb over dead grandmas to do anything outside.
My liquor store has a walk-up window now. They actually installed a legitimate, not a half-assed kind of jury-rigged thing. They installed a walk-up window in the front of the liquor store. You ring a bell with your elbow or whatever. They come to the window. You're stepped about. You put in your order. And they give you the liquor through a window. It's magical.
Well, I can say in the great state of Missouri, drive-through ammo, liquor, and fireworks stores are still open.
Here too. In Kentucky, they have this thing called the Liquor Barn. It's literally a barn that has one of those huge roll-up garage doors on the front and the back. So you drive through the liquor store, not like McDonald's.
Like it's an auto shop.
McDonald's has a drive-by. McDonald's has a drive-by.
Right.
You drive next to the building. In Kentucky, you drive right through the motherfucker.
Fantastic.
Right through the middle of the fucking liquor store. And here, like you said, we have a drive-by liquor store nearby. I drove past it the other day and I noticed they added a second drive-by window made out of plywood on the side where they did. I guess there was just a little door, so they just propped the door open, built a plywood little window.
They know what people are clamoring for.
Oh,
and
yeah. Like
booze.
You're sitting like so many people in quarantine now. It's like, I need a couple beers to get through another Netflix series, like something to kill my time. Like, I'm going to drive through and get some Bud Light.
Yeah, ice is now a mixer to me. That's how bad the quarantine is. We set up drive-through being accosted by homeless people in LA because that's a big part of our daily life. They had to wipe them all off the street. So now you just drive.
It's part of your culture.
Yeah, you drive through now and they run up. They're like, hey, man, can I get it? I'm like, fuck off. Get out of here. I got to go home.
That's really nice that homeless people in LA ask and don't just like break your window and assault you like St. Louis homeless.
Priorities. Kyle will tell you it's a very strict different code of etiquette with these people.
Hey, yeah. I'm in the real hot zone here of New York, though. Like we are. I don't know. I guess in every state it's kind of crazy, but there is a level of insanity here in New York that is beyond anything I've seen. And people are going a little bit nuts. Like I said earlier, before the show started, actually, it's kind of exciting and thrilling at first because people live pretty mundane lives. I mean, you have a schedule. And I think people like when you see on the news that a blizzard's coming. And you're like, oh, blizzard, and everyone talks about it and they batten down the hatches. They like that. I don't care what anyone says. They enjoy the adventure and excitement of something different.
Novel.
This is, literally. Novel.
Yeah, it literally is.
And this is one of those situations, but I don't think we've caught up to how serious it is at this point and how much it's changing things and will continue to change stuff. By the way, I agree with you, Dick, about the fact that we've destroyed our economy for what really amounts to just another sickness and flu that we've had in this country. I don't buy it. I don't buy that it's this amazingly deadly thing. People are dying. Yes. I'm not saying that's fake. Yes. And if you're a family member of someone that's died, I'm sure you're listening to me saying, wow, what an asshole. But people have died and they die every day and they will continue to die. But we've also sacrificed our economy for that. I
Still
don't
got
get
way
it.
too many people. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying from the get-go. Like, Anthony, I don't know if my hot takes are going to be as funny since you're from New York, but from the beginning, I was saying, wait a minute. For decades, we've been praying every day that something would come along and wipe all the idiots off the country, right? God gave us this beautiful disease that all you have to do to avoid is stay inside, and you fucking idiots ruined it. You pissed right in God's face. He was taking away all the boomers. God was going to fix Social Security.
Yeah. The boomer remover. Yeah.
God sent us this virus so there would be no idiocracy, and you morons just couldn't let him do it. You had to get involved. In the beginning, they were saying 4 million people are going to die. We ran our computers. 4 million people are going to die. And I said, 4 million people is the entire population of LA. If I woke up tomorrow and LA was gone, I would start believing in fucking God. 4 million. Take Austin, Texas out with you, please. It's crazy to me. Like, New York is horrible. Yeah. Awful, bad. But then when they turn around and say, you know what, Lincoln, Nebraska, you also need to lock down. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. What the fuck? Why?
Well, I mean, you can see in the last couple, because South Dakota, obviously, not a lot of people there. They kind of shirked the social distancing thing, and now their rates are doubling like every 2 days.
Yeah, it's blowing up over there, I guess.
Yeah, and like all the places where, and just like a month or so ago, where the governor or whatever Louisiana is like, no, everybody have fun at Mardi Gras, and it's like, no, now Louisiana's way up there. Like
that's what they were doing.
Like, I think it was a 2 million projection, maybe not a 4 million, but there have been a bunch of those. But weren't those done with the expectation that we wouldn't be doing any social distancing?
Yeah,
that's like if you did nothing, I think.
Still, it's like I'm an asshole about like the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, so just throwing that out there, the idea that we're just tossing away the First Amendment and of civil liberties en masse, like imprisoning people in their own homes, is I think the most depressing part of it to me. Like, my life has changed not at all. I didn't suffer. Actually, I take that back. My life has changed in a huge way because my girlfriend's a teacher. So now our very happy relationship went to spending all day in the same house. And I'm sitting there every night, pounding my fist against my head through a drunken stupor, thinking, I did not sign up for this. I did not. Gavin Newsom, how are you going to make this up to me? The $1,200 in Trump bucks is not making this up, man.
None of us qualified for that.
Arrest me and send me to Kyle's low security prison, please. I got to get out of here.
No, that would be terrible. Like just to jump in. I'm so glad that this thing didn't happen while I was in prison, because there's no getting away from it in there.
No.
And the medical care was horrible. Like I went to the dentist to she just makes sure your mouth isn't rotting. Oh, no gangrene, I see. All right, see you later. I've got a.
You didn't shit for 23 days and you didn't go to the doctor.
I didn't mention that. Yeah. I was so.
Did the guy that wanted to get with you send you to the dentist?
Yeah.
Want to make sure that's all nice in there.
I didn't shit for literally 3 weeks at one point while I was in there.
God damn.
Was that
3
to booby trap your asshole?
No, I couldn't. I was so stressed out. I couldn't shit.
Wow.
I literally couldn't. And I was eating a little bit. Like, I was eating a lot less. Like, I was eating like one meal a day, maybe. Some days I wouldn't eat. Some days I just have a little snack because I just wasn't doing anything. We'd go out and do a couple miles on the track, and then you lay in bed all fucking day.
You wanted to keep a blockade in there.
I mean, it would have been a mess if they had tried.
Did you think of
a defensive lineman for the colon?
like Jesus would not approve on your ass, like a tramp stamp, or think of your mom. Think of your mom.
Oh God.
I mean, like, you go in for surgery, you right? Like, don't chop off on.
Oh yeah, not this arm.
Yeah,
it's the other one.
Man.
Yeah.
That's
think
funny.
of your mom, man. Please don't.
Yeah,
So
I don't
really,
know what to think about the
why not?
coronavirus thing, because like it's weird that it seems like with
It's
the
bad.
flu, for example, I'm not afraid of the flu because it's like it doesn't kill people who are like my age group and reasonably healthy. But it seems like with this thing, sometimes I see like a 90-year-old grandma who beats it, and then I'll see some 28-year-old Olympic athlete who fucking dies, and I can't make that make sense in my head. Like what were the?
I mean, the problem is you're only going to know what the real death rate is when all of this is said and done. And like, I think the reasonable position is that yes, it's a bad virus. Yes, it has an incredible transmission rate, but it's like, it's never a movie. Like, I feel like Tommy Jones and Men in Black. I always want to say to people, look, there's always something huge and unknown and frightening waiting, right? There's always an Archillian death ray or whatever, but what makes us as a society is that we don't trash civil liberties to get there. Maybe it's like H1N1 and it kills young people like us, but maybe it's just like like an accelerated flu.
Well, it's definitely more deadly than H1N1, even for young people at this point.
We don't.
And Dick, I'm
that.
pretty positive that just like the Patriot Act, all of these infringements are going to be rolled back as soon as this is over.
Right.
It's gonna be fine. Name just 10 other times it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Bill Gates is going to come to my house and pull his vaccine microchip out of my ass when this is over, right? Free. I can show up at Jiffy Lube and get it pulled out. The data the data is just all over the place, and I have yet to see anything that says it's worse than just an accelerated flu that crammed an entire flu season.
It's much more contagious. Taylor, can you bring your mic closer?
I'm sorry. It can cause permanent organ damage. So like it can fuck with your kidneys, with your liver, with your brain, with soaking what?
Soaking liquor.
Well, yeah, but like this isn't a disease that makes everybody in the country drink a handle of vodka.
Yeah, nobody's running around with big syringes shooting people's livers full of vodka. You made that.
Oh, you got me. Oh, now I'm all fucked up. No, it's definitely bad. And if you look at the curve for how these things tend to go, is they'll do a quarantine. This is the exact same pattern happened with the Spanish flu, where they had a quarantine, and then they assume everything's hunky-dory, let everybody out of quarantine, and then is when the true spike happens, where everyone's
or just a double bell curve of some sort. Yeah,
with the more intense one being second.
The more the Spanish flu was the second
so fucking sure of themselves, but like people can't predict what stock to invest in. Yet everybody knows exactly what this never before seen engineered virus is going to do.
Engineered. We just made that up, right?
Yep.
Didn't shit come out recently that like there's more evidence saying that this was some sort of disease from like that was constructed?
I was just joking about that.
I don't know. I'm asking. Did that come out?
I'm telling you, no.
Okay. Then never mind.
Definitely not an engineered virus. They've said that so many times.
They said it's not engineered, but they did recently say that it did somehow get out of that Wuhan pathogen lab that they have over there. And I could see that. That's not an insane thing to think. I mean, it happened right there. That was their ground zero for this whole thing. I'm just amazed. How come Wuhan, the whole Wuhan area got completely devastated by this thing, but Beijing never got it. None of the big other Chinese cities got it. Meanwhile, every other country on the globe and every state in this nation has this. But China, it was only Wuhan. You gotta wonder why that was.
Are you suggesting the Chinese government is being secret? Taylor,
I believe it's like the MK Ultra. Let me tell you something. The Gulf of Tonkin was a false flag operation, and fluoride is turning the frogs gay.
Now that part's true.
Entirely